activity of the program. So since 2021, the UPLB Museum of Natural History has actually been implementing the Nicer Caves program, which was mentioned earlier by Dr. Solidum as well. So Nicer stands for Niche Center in the Regions for Research and Development, and CAVES is an acronym for Center for Caves Ecosystems Research. So in this section, we will be presenting you the different component projects of the program, and we will also be updating you on the current status of these projects. So to start with, I would like to call on Sir Julius Parcon, the project leader for Project 1, to give us a brief introduction of the first component project, Terrestrial, Vertebrates, and Invertebrates, Assessment of Caves and Karst Areas in Calabarzon. Sir Julius? Nakamute pa kayo, sir?
Okay, good afternoon. Magandang hapon po. Happy 46th anniversary to the MNH. I am Julius Parcon, University Researcher and a project leader of Project 1 of the Nicer Cave program. Our project, Terrestrial, Vertebrates, and Invertebrates Assessment of Caves and Karst Areas in Calabarzon, is currently in the year 2 of its implementation. 5 sites in Calabarzon has been selected as project sites through the recommendation and approval of the Regional Cave Committee of the DENR Region 4A. At least 1 cave per province selected, namely Cathedral Cave in Caminti, Laguna, Songwan Cave in Tayabas, Quezon, Kamanteguit Cave in Lubo, Batangas, Cabag Cave in Maragondon, Cavite, and Pamitinan Cave in Pamitinan Protected Landscape in Rodriguez, Rizal. The main objective of this project is to establish a research center for cave terrestrial vertebrates and invertebrates, diversity and conservation in Calabarzon through faunal biodiversity study leading to conservation and policy initiatives. Aside from research, we also do partnership with the DENR 4A, different universities and LGUs. Without their support, this project will not be successfully implemented. So maraming salamat po sa tulong nila. And also I would like to thank the DOST for funding the program and the project. For the whole story, we are proudly presenting to you the updates of our project through video presentation. This presentation is prepared by our project assistant, Mr. Rinstoko. Thank you very much.
Karst landscapes are areas formed by the dissolving action of water on carbonate rocks such as limestone, a process that takes over thousands or millions of years. The process results in the formation of various karst features, most interesting of which are caves. Despite the hostile environment, cave ecosystems support interesting species of plants, animals, and microorganisms, which in many cases are unable to survive elsewhere and contributes to the richness of Philippine biodiversity. Calabarzon is home to 55 identified caves, wherein 35 of these caves have already been classified based on the DNR's guidelines on cave types. However, more caves await discovery given the very limited explorations done in the region. Calabarzon caves also remain unstudied, and little is known about the rich terrestrial diversity of its caves. Until now, baseline data on the terrestrial vertebrates and invertebrates for most karst areas is lacking. The main goal of the Project 1 of the Nicer Caves program in Calabarzon is to establish a research center for cave terrestrial vertebrates and invertebrates, diversity and conservation through faunal biodiversity studies leading to conservation and policy initiatives. In partnership with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, LGUs, state universities and colleges, as well as NGOs, the project aims to have the first comprehensive study to be conducted for the selected Calabarzon caves and Karst areas. Currently, we have surveyed 3 out of the 5 selected caves for the project: Cathedral Cave in Cavinti, Laguna, Sungwan Cave in Tayabas, Quezon, and Camantigue Cave in Lobo, Batangas. We have already recorded a total of 11 species of amphibians, 18 reptilian species, 90 bird species, 2 non-volant mammals, and 21 bats. Of these, 65 species, or about 45%, are endemic to the Philippines. Meanwhile, a total of 18 species of land snails have been identified. A complete inventory of invertebrate species collected from the caves will be generated after careful examination and identification of the specimens collected. Notable species and species of conservation concern also thrives in the Karst area surveys, such as Rufous hornbill, Luzon hornbill, giant Philippine frog, the island flying fox, and Luzon fruit bat. In addition, we have recorded a total of 224 recordings of echolocation calls from 14 insectivorous bat species. They will be analyzed and compiled to generate a call library for echolocating bats in the region. Based on the initial results of the fieldwork done on the 3 caves, potential new species and new geographic distribution records of terrestrial vertebrates and land snails were discovered. Our findings will be presented in an upcoming biodiversity conference, while research papers are currently being drafted to publish these findings in peer-reviewed scientific journals. Being an active member of the DENR Calabarzon's Regional Cave Committee, the MNH Nicer Caves was stopped by Senro Tayabas last April 2022 to participate in a capacity building and training event for cave assessment, mapping, and safety. A representative from the project participated in the said event to provide technical assistance on the assessment of 6 caves within Mounts Banahaw San Cristobal protected landscape. The inputs provided by the project with regards to the wildlife inventory and biological assessment of the caves were essential for the evaluation and classification of these caves based on the DENR guidelines. The project has also started training local guides and LGU personnel. This is in line with the main objectives of the program. Currently, 10 field guides and LGU personnel from the cave sites visited were given hands-on training on basic biodiversity techniques. For the remaining duration of the project, we are aiming to publish at least 3 journal articles and provide a publicly available database of species and other biological data for the caves we have surveyed in Calabarzon. This data will be of importance to the concerned LGUs as well as local DNR offices in the management of cave resources for local conservation and ecotourism purposes. We are also expected to train at least 15 local researchers and students from partner LGUs as well as SUCs for each province to capacitate them and perform their own biodiversity monitoring of their respective caves and karst forests, as well as to conduct researches on different aspects of terrestrial vertebrates and invertebrate biology, ecology, and conservation. Field guides and biodiversity technique manuals will also be produced to help cave managers in monitoring of fauna that can be found inside and outside the cave ecosystem and educate the public on the importance of these species. Based on the data that will be collected from the 3-year survey, relevant policies will also be recommended to the relevant DENR offices and LGUs in managing and setting priorities for habitat and species conservation in caves and karst areas.
Thank you so much to Project One for their presentation of their updates of the projects of yung results nila from the different assessments that they have done in the 3 caves done so far. Thank you, Sir Julius, and also for yung nag-speak, si Renz po ang kanilang RA for this project. Okay. At this point, I'd like to present to them a certificate of appreciation. Okay. This certificate of appreciation is awarded to Project One Terrestrial Vertebrates and Invertebrate Assessments of Caves and Karst Areas in Calabarzon. Proponents are Julius Parcon, Renz Duco, Ana Pauline Deguia, Decibel Eslava, si Professor Cui, Professor Padrones, Professor JC Gonzalez, Professor Gautana, RM Regalado, JD Peruble, PA Cosico, CR Malison, RB Duque, BP Castro, and FM Tenorio for serving as resource people and research committee during the UPLB Museum of Natural History special webinar on research and partnership in cave program. Again, given this 29th day of September 2022, during the museum's 46th anniversary celebration with the theme, Continuing Excellence Through Adversity, Creating Partnership, Fruitful Research, and Digitized Collections, given by and signed by Dr. Marian P. De Leon. Okay. For those of you who would like to ask questions regarding Project One, please reserve those questions at the end of the presentation of all the project components. The end ng ating presentation. Or you can type in your questions in the chat box so I will be able to read them a little bit later. Okay?